So, a Tetris movie was announced. I'm having deja vu.
I'm having deja vu, too. It's like we just talked about this. And, yeah, I mean, this is not something that needed to be made. And, you know, there was an article in the New Yorker, and they talked to some of the people who are going to be behind the movie. And
the Threshold Entertainment Group.
Yeah, the Threshold Entertainment Group. And they have described it as it's going to be an epic sci-fi adventure. This is not going to be a movie about blocks with feet or tetrominoes as we know them. They say that they are going to work on the general theme that Tetris is about creating order out of chaos. And I mean, this to me is a bunch of word vomit spewed out in the general direction of the public. It means nothing. So
they could have actually just bought the rights to use the name and then apply it to any script that they have laying around even.
Yes.
So, like, a Battleship movie came out in the past few years. They've announced a lot of these. They used to announce, like, a Pong movie and, like, Space Invaders. But the Battleship, at least Battleship, it's a goofy board game, but it's actually based on war. And there have been lots of movies, in World War II movies, about battleships fighting each other. So at least that's a tangible sort of concept.
Sure, just like when they did Clue, it was based on a board game, but it's just a murder mystery at the heart of it. That's doable.
And but you use there's characters in Clue.
Right, exactly.
There's no characters in Tetris.
No.
I don't think the Tetrads, even if they have names, I don't think they are, their own characters and personality types.
Well, and the PR spin, the delicious PR spin on this is that they approach the characters with the utmost respect. It's like, what characters? There are no characters in Tetris. There's a square, there's a Z, there's a straight piece, and there's a T.
It's a backward Z too.
Yeah, fine.
So the handful of pieces.
Yeah.
It's funny that these supposedly, I guess, these people helped do or involved somehow with the Mortal Kombat movies in the 90s. So those were decent, especially the first one.
Yeah, but we can't really find how they were involved. What we do know that they were involved in was Food Fight, which was a movie that after 10 years of production hell got a straight-to-DVD release. And it's about a bunch of different food brands and mascot characters trying to fend off like Nazi-type enemies from a grocery store. So it's entirely a movie based on product placement.
So it wasn't based upon the old Atari game at all?
No.
Okay, because that might have been fun.
No.
So Threshold Entertainment Group, also known as Threshold Entertainment, formerly known as Amalgamated Widgets, is an intellectual property company, which I guess that means they buy intellectual property rights to resell it. I don't know, resellers? And then they have an animation subsidiary, Threshold Animation Studio, and they produce films. So the animation studio has done theme park films. Star Trek 4D at the Las Vegas Hilton. Armageddon, Les Effets Spéciaux. In Disneyland Paris, I butchered that. Mission Space, which I've been on, excellent ride, at Walt Disney's Epcot. Bob the Builder 4D at Legoland. Marvel Superheroes 4D at Madame Tussauds, probably somewhere in France. And then I guess it'll be at the upcoming Warner Brothers Movie World, which I know nothing about, but that sounds cool, I guess. Maybe there's a Zack Snyder, guy in a Zack Snyder suit running around you can punch. Justice League, Alien Invasion 3D, and a DC Comics Justice League, whatever. And they've done Lego Star Wars on Cartoon Network, Lego Atlantis, The Afterlife, and, as you said, they've done the Food Fight film. So, again, I don't know how they're going to do this, or if they're just buying the actual Tetris rights to give to someone else to do, animated. I don't know. This sounds like a terrible idea.
Could someone send them an email mentioning that 4D is not something we can see?
It's not something that Einstein's come up with the way to get to?
That's a load of bullshit. And also, Madame Tussauds is probably, I don't know, there might be one in France, but that's the Wax Museum. I think there's one in Vegas.
Really?
There's one in Canada.
So they're going to make a movie for the they're going to have like wax tetrominoes like just pose, and then you can watch the movie later?
I don't even want to fucking think about it.
So, I mean, the Food Fight movie that you referenced supposedly cost tens of millions of dollars somehow.
Money well spent.
Had 80 familiar mascots. That's probably where it came from. So Mr. Clean, Chef Boyardee, Starkist Charlie the Tuna. Who the hell would want to see this?
No one. That's why it went straight to DVD.
Took 10 years and tens of millions of dollars to produce, but failed to make it to theaters. Was released finally on DVD last year. The reviews were notably harsh. Kasanoff, who I guess is the executive at Threshold, said that it had been discouraged from talking about the project because of legal issues, but explained that Food Fight lost some of its backing during the financial crisis and had therefore never been properly completed. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Not the fact that it was a god-awful idea to begin with. Woo! Well, there was that documentary I was a part of 4 years ago that I hosted. That's really the only thing I did with the movie. It was that, so I don't know. Tetris is a game with a storied history, lots of legal battles. Hell, that would have been an interesting idea for the movie about maybe the development of Tetris in Russia.
Sure.
Like 84, then Nintendo and Atari fighting over it. That could have been a cool even documentary to talk about. Then how...
Well, I believe the ownership rights were claimed by Russia, and, Pidgeotov didn't get anything for years from Tetris.
And now I believe... Actually, I think I met the guy. He was there 4 years old, the documentary. So there is a company that now owns, I guess, at least the U.S. rights to it. They come out with, like, handheld games, and they do, like, mobile versions of it. Tetris. So Tetris is still around. I mean, it doesn't have nearly the same sort of chutzpah it used to.
I think EA actually has Tetris now.
Do they really?
I think.
Maybe they have the console rights to it.
Or they at least did a couple.
But they don't own the rights to Tetris itself.
No.
So what are the odds this actually comes out?
I don't fucking care.
Even direct to Amazon Prime or direct to Netflix?
I don't know.
30 to 1?
Sure.
40 to 1?
Yeah, why not?
Better odds than Buster Douglas beating Tyson.
Good. Great. No one cares.